Thank you, Ember, for having me on today.
You bet. I'm really interested in, first of all, your background for Park City Council and why you put your name in the hat as a candidate.
So, yeah, thank you for asking that question. And, you know, if I could start out, I'd just like to, something tragic happened recently, and I'd like to reflect and just put out a prayer for our fire chief, Paul Hewitt, who recently passed away in a tragic accident. So before I get into that, I'd like to just open up with that one.
Thank you for that. He was a very amazing community member.
Definitely someone who's a man of character who served our community with honor. So yeah, getting to why I'm running for Park City Council. You know, it was kind of, I've always been deeply interested in politics. I've been coming to Park City for, the better part of 25 years. And I think I was a little bit myopic. I moved here about 4 years ago, and I was so happy to live in such a beautiful place, and I never dared thought that there was anything sort of less than honorable going on. And then, so I had some incidents occur, which were very public, particularly with the Park City Police, but also with Park City schools, that really opened my eyes to the need for change in this community, and it really stirred me on to take a stand and to run for office.
You know, I think it's a valid concern when you say being myopic. The longer you're in a community, the more you really understand the workings and the complexity of issues facing the community. What is your background in policy making, and specifically being on boards or being a team member on the board to be able to make those changes?
You know, I've served on a number of boards throughout my career. Nothing at any high level. I mean, I think, you know, I've been involved in sustainable design and construction. So I sat on the board of the International Facility Managers Association in San Diego. Been the president of a couple HOAs in the past, and been on some local, particularly in San Diego, some sustainability sort of councils within the design community. Sorry, go ahead.
It certainly is an issue that we talk about a lot in Park City as well as Summit County, is that sustainability, is our climate change and our climate work that we have to continue working on, as well as what the city has put together for the priorities and their top priorities for 2020. You know, moving forward, as we come out of the pandemic, it feels like a lot of our city councils, both of course here in Park City, but also in our surrounding areas, it is definitely dusting off. We had started, you know, a year and a half ago, and as we're coming out of the pandemic, getting back to work. You know, as you talk about those topics, why do you think you're the best candidate to be able to fill one of the two seats?
So I think we have an issue here in Park City. I think you mentioned initiatives that the current administration has. I think that there's a lot of, I think there's some bad initiatives, and I think they're being handled incorrectly. I think that, you know, it's no secret that the Soils Project was and is a highly contentious issue. The mayor is on the wrong side of it, and the council basically rubber stamps all his, you know, all of his initiatives. So, in terms of why I'm the best candidate, I think there's a need for change. There's a need for significant change because you said something very important I wanted to seize on, which was we talk a lot about sustainability, yet we're dealing with some very, you know, some EPA, you know, major EPA cleanup sites. We talk about sustainability, but are we putting it into action? I went to the city council meeting the other night, and it's just emblematic of it. And there's a table full of plastic bottled water on the table. So there's greenwash and there's real sustainable initiatives. And I subject that I'm the guy that can really do the part of pushing sustainability, not talking about it.
Anytime that you're getting ready for, of course, to be in the primary and then the final election,
Well, thank you, and can we go into just a real quick swing over what my platforms are, or I just wanted to, I don't want to just jump all over this, but I'd love to swing through them real quick if you're interested.
We talked about, so as we have looked at your, of course, why you put your name in the hat, I think that there's also an opportunity for just a minute to
Yeah.
deal with the top issues.
Yeah, top issues. So really, my platforms, and I'll kind of boil them down in a real quick thing. One is government accountability. I think we've got an existing administration. I can't even tell you how many times Andy Bierman's been in the paper issuing mea culpas, whether it was on hiring of the new planning director. There was a public mea culpa in the park record about that. We don't have government accountability. We've got a Park City police force. That's really one that has some significant issues. They attacked and abused myself and my 15-year-old son, and they're going to rest on qualified immunity on that one, just like they did with your case when the Ainsworth boys died. We talked about sustainability. We're going to talk about, one of them is support for small business. I am very pro small business, and support for arts and culture. And I just want to end with this one thing. I've been accused of being a police reform advocate, and I would say that's accurate. I'm not a defunder. I love police. I believe they should be compensated properly. I believe they should be trained properly. But I am in favor of removal of qualified immunity, something that you're probably very familiar with yourself.
There's been new legislation just recently around that qualified immunity, and I definitely foresee as we have it within our community and our state and our nation, continued expectations of just what you said, of more training, of specifically around culture and around bias, around de-escalation, and so that's definitely something that's a national topic that every community.
It's interesting, our government, our incumbent government has taken a position, some very vocal positions. The BLM mural, I'm not going to speak on that, but it was it's a controversial issue that still stings and will impact Andy in the election, and yet his officers abused myself and my 15-year-old son, and were all let go on charges. And now they're going to stand behind qualified immunity. Even yesterday, with David Booth, the 2019 top Utah police chief, the Heber City police chief, was placed on administrative leave for, I don't know what it's for, but usually that's some pretty terrible stuff. So police reform is necessary, not defund. Defunding has not worked, but more accountability throughout government is what's needed.
Well, it's definitely clear that you're passionate
I
about
am.
your issues, about your platform, about being a candidate to be able to fill one of the two seats. And again, we wish you the very best of luck during your campaign, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank you so much, Ember. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I'm Ember Conley, your host for Political Peace. Remember to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Park City TV, over the air on Channel 36, and our Comcast channels 17 and 102.